You heard a little bit about what the Ayatollah said. He respects the young people but denied vote rigging and called for an end to the protests. And President Obama has been faulted for not being stronger in supporting the young protesters. Your Virginia colleague, Minority Rep Eric Cantor, says the U.S. has a moral responsibility to stand up for the demonstrators. Your reaction to that, and what should the president say? What should the U.S. do?
Well, as you know, I serve on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, and I think this is a real delicate moment in Iranian history and for U.S.-Iranian relations. I actually think President Obama has the right tone. If he comes out simply saying, we think the election was rigged and we favor demonstrations in Iran, that might make people here feel good, but it's irresponsible, and it would backfire in Iran and only play into the hands of the hardliners we don't want to support.
Well, they're already talking about how the United States is interfering, and that's what everyone was saying, to stay out. But should his tone be even more strong in his support of the young demonstrators, not of the candidates themselves who are handpicked by the Ayatollah?
I think there may be ways in the coming week and weeks for the president to reach out to the demonstrators and to let them know that obviously there's a concern here in the United States about the legitimacy of this election. But I think that has to be done sotto voce. It can't be done the way Mr. Cantor has done it, because that's a political podium, and again, that may play to his supporters, but I think it could really backfire in Iran.
Do you believe that we should stop talking with Iran, trying to engage them on their nuclear ambitions?
I think we have to stay engaged. That is one of the most dangerous situations in the world, that and North Korea. I think it was a mistake by the previous administration, frankly, not to be engaged both in that part of the world and with North Korea for such a long time. By the time they got re-engaged, it was too late. And so I think President Obama was right. He campaigned on the issue of engagement. President Kennedy once said, you know, we must never negotiate out of fear, but we must never fear to negotiate.
Let's talk about the health care. Former President Bush warned against nationalization of health care in one of his first post-election speeches and government overreach of the financial system. Will we get health care reform like the president wants, or some other version of health care reform this year?
I believe we will get health care reform. It will be sometime certainly in this Congress. Energy and health care are the two big issues the president ran on, many of us running for Congress ran on. We've got to get that done. There are 46 million Americans who are uninsured, and many people who even have insurance. 45% of us who have insurance have a previous existing condition, and insurance companies are still cherry-picking and not providing coverage even though we have health care. So I think there are lots of fixes that have to be addressed in the health care system. We're not going to go to a single-payer system. The government isn't going to take over health care. People are going to be allowed to continue to have their private.
Are you going to allow them to tax employers on the health benefits that are there?
I'm not going to support that. I think that would be a big mistake, especially in our region. You know, we have a lot of us who, in this region, who have generous health care benefits, and we want to preserve those.